9.5.
Well done, working hard.
Take away.
No.
I see. So you're saying David seems unhappy and he isn't progressing as much as he did last year.
Yes.
Have you spoken to Mr. Jones about that?
Yes, but that was 2 weeks ago now and nothing seems to have changed. He seems to send home a bit of additional practice work for David, but nothing like last year. And none of those little notes on how he's going with his learning plan goals. And he loved bringing those home last year.
Okay, well, let me reassure you that I'm firmly committed to providing the best support for all students, David included.
Great.
So thanks for coming to see me, and I'll follow it up and I'll be in touch with you on Monday.
Great, thank you.
Hey Mark, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Good group this year. All under control.
Good. How about David? How's he going? His mother came to see me. She was a little bit concerned.
Oh, yeah, she came to see me a couple of weeks ago too. I know what she means. David struggles to keep up with the others.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're aware of that. I'd like to discuss it further. How about tomorrow after school, say 3:30?
Sure, we can talk then. Maybe you could suggest they look into getting a tutor.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But I'm more interested to know what strategies you're using to help David.
Well, I give him some extra help in lessons, but, you know, the minute I'm not there, he gets stuck. I can't sit with him all the time, though. I've got the others to think about.
I agree. It would be really difficult to provide that much one-on-one support for a student, but there are other ways that you can support David. Tell me about how you plan the work he's given and how that reflects his individual needs.
Well, what do you mean? I do know how to plan. I've been doing this a long time.
Oh, I appreciate, Mark, that you have a lot of experience, and I want to see how we can best make use of that experience to support David and the rest of the students.
A bit surprised, to be honest. I've never had my teaching questioned before. You seem to have made up your mind about me after talking to one parent.
No, that's not the case at all. Listen, I think it would be a good idea for us to postpone this conversation for the moment. That way will give us both time to think about David and the progress that he's making, and then perhaps we can also have a look at the other students in the class and get a sense of how they're tracking. Sound okay?
Yeah, okay.
So, the focus of today's curriculum day is reviewing and clarifying the expectations for teaching and learning in this school so that we're all speaking the same language.
What you want to create is a culture where people are continually looking to improve their practice.
It's essential that feedback occurs all the time, not just when things go wrong, but when things go right.
Great work, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing that continue this afternoon as we break off into teaching teams to consider the best ways that we can support each other to develop our practice. Dan?
Sure. Yeah, look, I mean, just a reminder really that what we're thinking about is classroom visits, lesson observations and coaching.
Feedback's essential for every staff member's professional growth, also essential for the leader's growth and being in touch with the school.
Comment and debrief about it.
Difficult conversations are often best prepared for by rehearsing with someone else, a peer or a mentor, someone you trust.
Thanks, it's great. Oh, have you got a couple of minutes? I had a conversation with Mark about David and his learning plan, and it didn't go so well.
Okay, yeah, what happened?
He didn't seem to understand why I was asking him about David. He took it really personally. I think he felt that I didn't know anything about his teaching and that I was jumping to conclusions.
It's very important to think through the information you'll need in that difficult conversation, gathering different views and pieces of information, the knowledge of people.
Well, I'm not sure if anyone's really talked to him about his teaching before, but I can understand why he'd want to. The data for his students isn't great, and it's not the first time that there's been issues from parents.
Oh, I didn't know about the other issues.
This would be great information for you to have when you talk to him next.
It's very important to be quite specific in terms of what the issues are that you're addressing.
Oh look, if you want some further preparation material, I've got a great website I can recommend that just has some spot-on resources for planning this kind of tricky
That
conversation.
would be great. Thanks.
It's important to think through how the conversation might go in certain directions, or there might be certain junction points where there are different options the way the conversation should go,
What exactly?
and have some information ready to apply in those situations.
Hi, come on in, take a seat. Thanks for making the time, Mark. As you know, this meeting is to discuss the progress that David's making up against his individual learning plan.
Get to the point really quickly.
Ask open-ended questions.
Can you start by telling me how you think he's going?
I'm giving him some one-on-one time in class when I can.
It's good to get them talking. It's good to get them to start to debrief and talk about their own professional capacities.
It's really good to get your perspective. From what you've told me, it seems your strategy for differentiation is to provide additional support by working alongside the students.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And that strategy isn't working for David. Let's have a look at some other information that you've got there. It's great that you've got your student data. Let's come and sit over here.
It's important to contextualise this issue in terms of the wider story of professional practice that has been good.
A lot of your students, particularly the high achieving, are progressing really, really well. But a number of students, David included, well, they're not progressing the way that we would expect. What's your take on that?
Well, I've never looked at the data in this depth before. I can see what you mean.
You bring into the conversation the impact of their actions on others or the perceived impact.
Allow people an opportunity to think and reflect.
It's a bit of a shock. I've always thought of myself as really hitting the mark. I really don't know what I should be doing differently.
I can't fix the problem for them. They have to find their own solutions to the problems, but with my support.
How do you think that the work that we did on our curriculum day could help? I mean, what about joining in with the lesson observation program that we've got up and running? Okay, look, I understand how you feel, but this isn't out of the ordinary here anymore. I mean, we're all constantly learning. I mean, everybody here is working together to develop their best practice, myself included, so nobody is singling you out. I know that you really have the students' best interests at heart, and I want to work with you to achieve that.
The outcomes of these meetings need to be really clear.
You know, what support do you need to be able to make this better?
And then here, this is the peer observation stuff.
So you have goals that you wish to reach, processes that you agree to follow, and you would have certain milestones and timelines and deadlines in place for that to occur.
Action plan.
There needs to be some detail so that there's a clear understanding for both parties of what occurred in the conversation, what the goals for the future are.
Observe, Becky.
Make sure that that support is available and it's accessible and it's reasonable, that the person is able to participate.
So what I really noticed in observing the class the other day,
People who are dedicated to their profession are restless and wanting feedback. They want to professionally develop. I think one of the most valuable things you can do as a leader is to enable that by giving people the time and the opportunity to do it.